Welcome to The Uniformer. Insights into and interviews with the people and companies that drive the markets for uniforms, image apparel, public safety, and workwear.
Hello, this is Rick Levine from the NAUMD. I'm the president, and I am thrilled to be here with Lisa Lee today. Lisa, why don't you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, Rick. How are you?
I am great.
Good, thank you. My name is Lisa Lee. I'm a creative director for Thames Apparel in New York City.
Excellent, wonderful. So Lisa's modest. She's actually a lot of things. She's a designer. She's had a 30 plus years experience in the industry, and Thames Apparel is one of her lucky clients or companies, not client, one of the lucky companies that get to work with Lisa. Yeah, exactly. But today we're talking about Thames, who is a member of the NAUMD network, and they make some incredible apparel. And Thames actually, Lisa, they work across a wide variety of industries, right? It's not just uniforms, right? They do some incredible menswear but it is specific more, I suppose, to the the uniform and the corporate world. Do you notice working with Thames, changes, or how are the trends going for the uniform space for them?
Yes, Thames Apparel. Thames is a premium menswear company. We specialize men's tailored shirts, bespoke shirts. Basically, it's very great quality of men's dress shirts. Of course, we also make suits, trouser, pants. For uniform wise, it's more like a airline uniform, hospitality, hotel uniforms, even casino, theater shirts, and these kind of luxury retailer.
Upper end, the high style. High style, is that the term?
We are premium quality, high end. Actually, our collection has been presented in today. It's in Chicago Men's Collective Show today. We have our own brand. The brand is called Record. It's our own brand under Thames Apparel. So it's for men's collection.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that, I imagine, feeds well into doing then the higher end programs. So like you're saying, an airline or a hospitality venue that wants a very high end look and quality, you guys are who they turn to.
Like financial institutes, car dealerships, and then they were like law firms.
Right.
They like something bespoke, or premium, looking for premium quality.
But they still have to perform. Right. So even though it's super high end, you have all of the same challenges that we always have in the uniform, industry, right? That the product has to last, and it has to not stain, and the color has to hold up, and all of that good stuff. So, how do performance fabrics and all of that, play into all of this, even though it's a high end, program?
I'm so agree with you. I think uniforms are no longer just about appearance, but also about performance. The brand's organization, the customer looking for the uniforms for employees to enjoy wearing it. And, aside from brand identity, employee comfort is very important. And right now, sustainability is also another major drive, and people really into sustainability, looking for the fabric wise have a performance function and performance properties.
Yeah.
Yeah, the customer have in the over past few years, I have seen significant shift about customer expectations.
Oh yeah.
Yes, because the organization they also want their employee to wear their uniform and enjoy it and comfortable throughout whole long working days. The material has to be comfortable, fit has to be functional and safety, and then they can do their job effectively. So that's all very important. Like sustainability wise, customers are required recycle materials, and PFAS free and water repellents finishing is also it's very important. As far as right now, like greater supply chain transparency, it's become very important. We talking about traceability is part
traceability.
of requirements.
Yeah. Do you find? I mean, is Thames finding the same requests on the consumer side, or is that more are they seeing more of the types of challenges you were mentioning on the strictly on the uniform side? Because we do have different performance requirements, right, than the consumer side. But I guess a lot of what you're asking for is also happening on the consumers. What the customer's asking for is also happening on the consumer side, I guess.
Yes, in consumer side and customer, because for uniform industry and lifestyle industry, who wear the garment? Tell me who wear a garment? People, right? People wear the garment, so we have to care about people. So when people wear it, I give you example. Hair professional, they wear the scrub in the hospital, or before it's performance is like a very old, not very performance. Right now, the scrub you wear it like an active wear. And before, 30 years ago, I don't see on the street people wear scrub walking on the street. But right now, you can often see the nurse, or doctors, and they wear scrub on the street because why? They feel proud about their, so it's, of course, it's comfortable to begin with, but and our customer, and even lifestyle customer, also looking for comfort, and it's really a big demand. So right now, I for instance, the men's shirts. Before, we always use like a shirt. It's a woven fabric, no stretch. Then little bit we add a spandex. We wear the 3%, 5% spandex into woven fabric and make a little bit stretch. But right now, we using knit fabric. We call knit woven, but it's knit actually. And in Thames Apparel, we developed a special fabric using Supima cotton and Supima cotton and Salona fabric, and then we do mercerized, double mercerized treatment to make the fabric very stretch. It's like a 4-week stretch, but we call it 8-week stretch because you can stretch on every direction.
Everywhere. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, every stretch.
The breathable. it's great, but it's a Supima cotton. Supima cotton is the highest cotton. They are really good with, breathable. So I would say in fabric, the customer is really want the fabric to improve comfort. Of course, in uniform, I think durability is very important. You have to be durable, And overall, we wanted to improve employee experience for them to function and performance during their working days. And then moist management, and again, I wanted to emphasize PFAS-free water repellents is also very important for outerwear. And recycle poly, recycle nylon, or another one is anti-microbial. Is it antimicrobial?
I don't know. You're getting into textile technology. I actually am not all that familiar with.
Management technology is also important. And also wrinkle free, like a wrinkle without, we have a shirt without wrinkle.
We've gotten so spoiled. I get me as a consumer, even I get so spoiled. I'm like, I don't want to have to iron it. Forget that, right?
Yes, it's also very important. And style-wise, I wanted to say, contemporary style, fashion style into influence in uniform industry. And one day, one day I walking to Chase Bank, to my Chase Bank my banker advisor. She wear a flower print uniform, but I did not know that was uniform. I say, your outfit is beautiful. It's the flower print is beautiful. And then she told me, she said, Lisa, this is a Chase uniform. I said, wow, that's uniform. You wear uniform. No wonder. Yeah, today is working day. I forgot, but you wear so fashionable. But we ended up, I have known in Nancy Ann get the award about design Chase uniform. That was a part of uniform, and it was just like
they got an award for so that Land's End. Specifically for the Chase program. I don't know if the particular garment you're talking about was part of that.
Yeah, it was for ladies shirt.
Yeah.
It was a printed flower, photo printed flower. So I was very surprised because for uniform normally don't do flower printing on uniform. Yes. Because on uniform 30 years ago, uniform, I often remember navy color, maybe dark green, olive color, black, white. It's all gray color. You don't do flower prints. But right now, it's a...
No, it has changed dramatically. It's as more and more companies and brands and venues, want to be branding in a positive way, and they are leading with apparel very often. And it becomes hugely important to, right? So it makes what you do, what Thames does, so much more vital, because it's the first and last thing people will see when they enter Chase Bank, for example.
Fashion inspired style. So we have both. We have lifestyle. We have uniform. So our uniform will be trendy because everywhere we have a very strong development. There like a trend podcasting, and we because our market is a global market. We export to Italian, Netherlands, and Australia, Japan, and United States also is a big one of our biggest private label service. Yes.
Yeah.
But of course, I cannot mention about brands we serve, but many recognized lifestyle brands that we do private label for.
So the supply chain is so global now, right?
Yes.
I mean, are you noticing, trends or changes related to that? And then how does that affect you guys selling into all these different countries, like you're saying? Because it's not one style, one size, range. Like, does even the grading have to be different for us fat Americans versus, the healthier, the rest of the world?
Different sizes. In uniform industry, we have like more than 8 sizes, I would say, from extra small to like how many X, 3, 4 X. So fit is important. For Thames Apparel, we have a really good high technology we call AI assistant pattern making. By the way, I wanted to say Thames Apparel is 28 years old company.
Oh, wow.
Yes, we are very experienced. It's a technology basically
Driven,
manufacturing.
focused,
We have 3D design, and we have AI assistant pattern making. So every day we produce over 2,000 bespoke shirts every day. So like a bespoke is individual. Every measurement is different. Everybody measurement is different because for people to require for bespoke, of course they care about the fit. So they cannot buy regular shirts from the store for regular fit. So they come to us for bespoke. So, but our factory is pretty large, and we produce. How can we produce over 10,000 different shirts, different manager? Every day. It's because we have AI assistant pattern making. So that's really help us a lot, and we call the AI CAD, digital pattern making. Yes.
I mean, you've seen multiple technology revolutions since your days as a student at FIT, right? I mean, right? You
I know the CAD system from Gerber system before the pattern making. Yeah, I also learned the digitizing, like you digitize everything, then you do the grading. Yeah, I was at one point I was a pattern maker before. Yes.
But I imagine that's hugely helpful as a designer, because a designer that doesn't intimately understand pattern making, I would think, is at a big disadvantage.
Oh my God, I'm so agree with you, because my major was a fashion design to begin with, and I had my own collection when I was in China. Then I worked with my pattern maker, but the pattern maker, it was a tailor. They would not, even they did not train it from school, but they train a traditional way. But they have they may not be best designer, but for construction, workmanship, they are better than I was before, because then they change my design often because my design can be pretty, can be appearance. I want it to be good, but not really construction wise, not really feasible sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Okay.
You have to change it, otherwise you can't show it right in this way. So over time they have to change my design. because of construction not feasible.
Yeah. Well, in our industry is has to be very disciplined about that, because we don't have the luxury of saying we only make clothing for women sizes 0 to 10, right? We have to go from 0 to 40 or whatever, right? As
Yes.
however high we need to go, and similar for men, right? Like
Yes.
so yeah. What else you want to talk about here? How do you, so across all these sizes, across all these industries, right? So if you're doing airline and hospitality and all this, how do you maintain a design like quality consistency? How can you keep standards high when you've got so many of these different types of products coming in and out? And I guess that's the question. How do you maintain your quality?
The challenging.
Yeah.
I would say the biggest challenging is the balancing about brand image, employee comfort, and durability and cost. Beside that, another challenging is reorder, replenishment after order. It's really challenging. I mean, in Thames Apparel, we offer no minimum, no MOQ. We offer like a 300 minimum, and also we are very fast, and we can turn around like even 220 to 200 urgent request uniform bespoke or uniform made to measure this program in 2 weeks. Of course, aside the logistic part. So that's really our advantage, because in Thames Apparel, we carry a lot of great goods. So because when you have reorder, you don't want to have a different quality, and also color consistency, because you don't want your reorder have different color, and all the employee they like a hotel employee, they stand next to each other, then you have a different shape of the garment, you will be a problem. So we really control better in that sense. So that is one of the challenging, I would say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we call them uniforms for a reason. They have to be uniform. Everyone has to
they have to be exactly the same. It has to be exactly in a uniform. Yes.
Yeah. What, you were going to say something?
No, I would say I emphasize fit again. Fit has to be right too. You have to, again, performance, comfortable. Yeah.
And so looking ahead, do you see trends, changing at all? Do you think we're all going to be bespoke because the technology will just allow us to be or do you see, what kind of trends do you see? And you're exposed to a lot of things too, right? On both the consumer through Thames, you see the B2C market, you see the B2B market in the uniform space, you see multiple countries and how their desires and their are changing, and what innovations they're asking for. And so I don't know, what kind of trends do you see for the future?
Changing part in the supply chain changing part, I would say global sourcing become very important. It's not one country production anymore. I would like to share my experience to you. And I'm Chinese. I came from China 30 years ago. When I was here, a lot of domestic production in U.S. And I was in design department. And one day, a COO of the company I work for come to me, say, "Lisa, I want you to be sourcing and production because you're Chinese." Because a lot of production switch from U.S. domestic production to China, moving to China. But 30 years ago, 30 years after, there's a big shift too. So, after pandemic and during the pandemic, even before pandemic, global sourcing become very important. They want to move out of China.
Mm-hmm.
So, and have a tariff in China increasing. So, we also moved out of China. But, a lot of fabric is from China and the logistic part too. So we did move to China. We moved to Vietnam, and the minimum is high. And also, lead time is longer in Vietnam. Yeah. So we run a circle, and some company moved to Africa, and Ethiopia, Kenya, and Vietnam, and also Bangladesh.
Yeah.
And different countries also have different specialties, and Cambodia or many different countries. And we run a circle. Last year, what happened? We ran a circle. And other production go back to China.
Oh,
because,
wow.
Because the war happened. Logistic part is much longer logistic, long time delivery. So a lot of company, customer does not have 6 months.
Right.
Delivery. So then we a lot of production went back to China last year, but guess what? China is still very stable. So I would say changing is a global. And of course, the transparency is very important. You share with your customer, and customers sometimes have a country of origin requirements.
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes it's because of political reasons.
Right. Yeah, you never know what happened in the past with the company that, causes them to specify where they want, right? They had a child labor issue 10 years earlier.
Labor. Yes.
Right.
Yes, like we do not use Chinese cotton anymore. So, do you know call, I was in AAFA meeting this year and in April. We also talking about product passport. It's about traceability, because they want you to know about where you import your cottons. So so that's
the passport's becoming a big idea, right?
Yeah.
The whole digital passport, like I could trace the garment all the way.
Yes.
And
you have a QR code, you scan it.
That'll be helpful at the end of life too. We'll know exactly what is in this garment as you're scanning it across a conveyor belt. You'll know, here's what we need to do with that, garment.
Yes, I would like to say about sustainability. It does not end just using recycled poly and recycled nylon fabric, but also end of life uniform. But when uniform become retired, we want to recycle the uniform too. The uniform recycle. At Thames Apparel, we encourage uniform company to recycle uniform about end use, because you don't want to just go to the landfill,
Right.
But you wanted to, we call recycle and upcycle.
Upcycle, yes.
Yes, and it can be like can become installation for other things. That you can remove the patch. You can become fashion too. People wear uniform like a utility. Become a pocket become a very trendy. This couple years because from the inspiration become uniform too.
Yeah.
So uniform can also influence lifestyle fashion. Yeah.
So do you see, back to your global sourcing points, do you see that we're going to continue moving around for a while, that it won't, or do you think a lot will start moving back to China? Or certainly there's US, stakeholders that are hoping we move, some production back to the US. It's, where do you see that wave going?
I think it's more global. do not depend on which country anymore, because each country, because also, you know why? Because it's machinized, because the technology, a lot of robot already replace labor, human labor. And in U.S. domestic production could be possible because a lot of it's machinery manufacturing. And AI technology, it's important too. So it is possible to make American manufactured domestic, make American great again. Yes,
Man.
yes.
Yeah. We won't get into politics, but that is, that is interesting. The movement around, and you've seen it all, because
Yes.
40 or 50 years ago, China was not the big, provider. That really has been in our lifetime, that exploded, and it was by design. And it's impressive the way that China has done that. But
Yes.
but we still, certainly in the uniform industry, we still have a lot of domestic production, right? Because the government,
yes. Yeah, security, and first responder uniform, a military uniform is made in U.S. They can only make in U.S. I think every country government do the same. Yes.
Yeah, some do. Yes.
Yeah, a Chinese government, I think, cannot export military uniform outside of China.
Right. Was there anything you thought I was going to ask you I didn't ask you?
I think we cover a lot today.
Yeah, we covered a lot. I could talk to you a lot more.
Yeah.
We'll do another one at some point.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks for taking the time to talk with us. And if people want more information, they go to thamesapparel.com, which is THAMES apparel.com. And they're, a trusted, valued member of the NAUMD. And Lisa is a wonderful participant in our network. And we really appreciate all of your efforts, Lisa. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me today. So you have a nice day. Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.